Thank you for joining another edition of Java with John. We will have a quick Java with John today. I have not missed a Java with John all year long, and my wife is off today. So I regretted that I had this set up because I need to spend some time with my wife. We all should spend time with our family, right? So she's okay and understands we're going to do a quick Java with John, but it's good to be with you. I enjoy coming together every other Thursday and sharing some ideas and things. 2 weeks ago, I was in Kansas City and I had to deliver a presentation. So I did a quick new presentation for you that was kind of technology, but kind of motivational. So if some of you were on that, hopefully you enjoyed that. I did record that. I need to get it on their website, and I will do that quickly. So I wanted to, this week, I do some webinars for the Council of Real Estate Brokerage Managers and a group called FIOPSI. When I say I do some webinars, I actually coordinate speakers and set up topics. And occasionally I'm the guest webinar presenter. And this week I had a friend of mine who did that I've been watching and following some from Vancouver, and he did a presentation for us on Evernote. And I've got to be honest with you, and Evernote's out there. I have it on my iPhone. I have it on my iPad. I have it on my computer. I throw a lot of things in Evernote, but I never tend to go there and get things out. But I watched his presentation this week, and I was like, okay, I get it now. And I think I've really missed out on huge opportunity to do some cool things. So I just wanted to show you some things that he shared with me this week and allow us to have a little time discovering Evernote. So I have a quick poll I'm going to launch for you because I'm just curious of those of you on the call, how many of you use Evernote? And we are seeing about just about everybody's voted. And I'll go ahead and close the poll here. So I'll share the results. Looks like we had about 60% said yes and 40% said no. So good. So my second question to you on Evernote is how often do you use Evernote? Just again, I'm curious because you might have be like me. I have Evernote, I use it, but I probably was selecting sometimes or a lot, but not as often as I should. And you can see that we are getting, and I would fall in that same category. So there's no wrong or right answer, but you could see a lot of us really, I was probably in the sometimes, maybe a lot, but not as often as I should. But really, I didn't use it as often as I probably could have. And then my last question is this: do you use any web browser extensions? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine too. We will talk about that because there's some real advantages to using some. Okay, good. So I'll share the results on that so you can see. So it's okay if you don't know what that is. That's why we're doing Java with John, right? So you can learn some stuff today. So I'm going to share with you, I'm recording this Evernote and what I found out this week and how you really should be using Evernote uh, a little bit more often than probably you are. And I'm going to take advantage of that. So first of all, Evernote's free. I'm using the basic. The plus feature is, I think, $2.99 a month. The premium's $49 a year. I was so impressed with what I saw this week that I'm definitely just going to jump in and use the $49 a year and start really using Evernote to its full power. The problem I had with Evernote is that I wanted I couldn't find any structure. Now, you will notice that I created some notebooks like my real estate master's program, my real estate office. Here's sales leadership performance was a class I teach, sales meeting ideas. Because I was like finding stuff and putting it in Evernote, but I almost felt like I was just throwing things in a room and shutting the door. And then one day I looked in the room and there were papers everywhere. Can you imagine that? Like if you just, every time you found something on the web or every time you found something cool or you took a picture or you did different things, you just tossed it in a room. And then one day you open the room up and it's like, holy cow, did I do that? Who was that? The guy on TV that my girls used to always say that. Did I do that? Urkel, I think was his name. And I just felt like I was creating a big messy closet or file cabinet, like I'm just throwing stuff in a file cabinet. And one of the things I discovered this week in watching these webinars, and by the gentleman's name is Steve Dotto, dottotech.com. He's a good friend of mine. He does a great job with technology training and explaining. And Steve was saying to us, the big hang up that people have with Evernote is that they expect it to be an application or like a software app that has some structure and organization to it, like what I'm showing you here. That you want these real nice and neat folders and you want to be able to put things in the folders. When in reality, Evernote is really just a search engine. And so don't, as he tried to explain to us, don't get hung up, although you can create some organization to it. That's not really what it was created for. It's really just created for you to, when you find things on the web, to take those items, put them in Evernote, and then Evernote will go through and read the document. And even if you take pictures, Steve showed an example where he took a picture back in 2011 of a bottle of wine. Now, he did not give that picture a tag or anything. He just took a picture and put it in Evernote in 2011. Because the word wine was on the label, when he typed in, and I don't think I have anything with the word wine, but we'll see. When he typed in the word wine, I guess I do have some things in wine, it literally pulled up any of those documents that had the word wine. See, look at this. This is just from an article that it went out and it looked through Evernote. Now, here's 5 ways your old YouTube videos can triple their visibility. And somewhere on this page, it found the word wine. Now, where that is, we'd have to scroll down, but it will highlight it and bookmark it. And so, and I'm missing it somewhere, but somewhere the word wine is in here. Probably should just open that up and look, but that's a YouTube video. I've put other articles in here from YouTube. And now I just type in the word YouTube, and every article that I've ever snagged or grabbed with Evernote, it has put that information right into Evernote. So as Steve was explaining to us and showing us, it literally looks at photographs, and if there's verbiage on the photograph, Evernote will find that verbiage and index it. Now, see, we got a couple of questions here, so I want to quickly take a look. Kathy is on the road right now and had to pull over to ask this question. I'm very interested in this topic. Will this session be archived so I can view it when I get home this evening? And the answer is yes, Kathy, it will be. So I'm recording it. And I will get that up as soon as possible, hopefully tonight. So when Steve showed me, and thank you for that question, Kathy, as well. When Steve showed me that feature and he said, get over the organization of Evernote, I was like, that's my hang up. That's why I've kind of stayed away, because I kept trying to figure out, well, how do I organize Evernote and make it a little bit more user friendly? And we don't want to get hung up on that, as he says. So I'm using the Evernote basic version, and I'm going to show you a couple of things, that the ways that we can use Evernote, and some ways that I currently use Evernote as a real estate professional. So let's go out first of all. Now I use, and here's Evernote. If you go to evernote.com, you can sign up here. It's free. And by the way, Steve even has a lot of his customers and clients he works with that sign up for Evernote, because one of the things about Evernote, it's a good research tool. But it's a collaboration tool, and it's a tool where you can share information. It's a tool where you can, retrieve your information very quickly. So I use Safari as a web-based browser, and whether you use Google Chrome, Mozilla, or Safari. I know Microsoft's kind of getting away from their Internet Explorer. They're not going to support it, and I haven't used it for a long time. I would encourage you to try to stay with a Safari, or I use Google Chrome a lot. I like it. And I use Mozilla Firefox a lot, which is real good. So one of the things you can do, and I'm in Safari, I'm on a MacBook, but you can do this in a Windows environment. If you go to Safari and you go to Safari extensions, it will bring up a new web browser for Safari extensions. And here you can actually search for it. You could come down here and look for extensions. Many of you may have put like a Pinterest extension on your toolbar. And I think, I'm believing I have a Pinterest up here. Yeah, right here. So I'm right up here under bookmarks. You can see where my mouse is. That's my Pinterest extension. I also have an extension right here that I've downloaded called Duplicate the Current View. Now I use that because I teach RPR courses, and what I do when I'm teaching an RPR course is I go to NAR RPR, and if I typed in a property that I'm working on, so let's just say 717 Ozarks Drive, a house my wife and I used to own, but we sold. And we always say, we live around the corner from this house, but we always say, why did we sell that house? Because we loved that home. And actually we invited a girl over and her husband to a Sunday school Christmas party because we felt sorry for him. And she said, would you sell your house? And anyway, long story short, we ended up selling our house and we didn't want to. But here's this property. So when I'm doing RPR training classes, this is an extension, and I can hit duplicate the extension, and it will bring me over to that same web page I'm on, but now I can select history. And so when I'm teaching an RPR class, I can quickly go between each. So I'll duplicate the slide again, and that's just an extension that's plugged into your web browser. And it's really just a shortcut. So what this particular extension is called duplicate the current tab. So now I don't have to wait for web pages to load up when I'm doing a presentation. I just hit the X and I go right to the next charts, to the next tab. When I want to go to the next tab, I close that out and it'll bring me right over. So that's called a duplicate tab. And I just downloaded that from the Safari extensions tab. Now they have several tabs out here, but they have one for Evernote. And if you scroll down and you don't see the extension, you can just type in right here, Evernote. And here it is right here. It's called an Evernote web clipper right here. And when you install this, so it's already installed, you would click install now. It will put the Evernote web clipper right here. And let's see if that doesn't actually work but you can see it's like a little elephant, which is the Evernote icon. It's right up here in the top. Now, how do we use that? Let's say that we are, let's just go out to Google and let's go to type in the ways to let's say this creative real estate marketing ideas. All right. Now, one thing I've been doing with Google, and I wish that they would do this automatically, is I go under more, or pardon me, search tools, right there, search tools, the very last one. And instead of any time, I want to go within the past year. I don't want to go back 5 or 6 years. I'd like to find out some new things that are kind of out there. So here's 107 proven real estate ideas that might work. And these are marketing ideas. So we'll kind of take a look at what she has. And if you say, that's kind of interesting, I'd like to bookmark that and come back and read it later. So I'm going to just put that in Evernote. And the way you do that is with the web clipper. Remember that we downloaded a minute ago? I just select clip to Evernote. Of course, you have to log in the first time. And here, it's just going to put it in my Real Estate Tech Guy notebook. However, if you want to create other notebooks, you can. So if I wanted to put this in technology stuff, I could do that, like iPads. But I'm just going to type in here. I'm going to leave this alone. Because remember, I can hit save and Evernote will read all of the words in here. All right. I don't really need to do anything, but I can add what is called a tag. So I could type in marketing, couldn't I? Real estate marketing. I already have a tag for that. And I could type, and I'll just leave that alone. Now I'm going to select save. And when we go back to Evernote, and I'm going to go right here. I'll sync Evernote, and there's the article right here. Now, one of the cool things, and by the way, I'm going to pull up my mobile phone app here in a minute. We'll take a look at it on the mobile phone. One of the really couple of cool things that Steve was sharing with us today, and I wasn't aware of, is that if I'm going to go back over here to creative real estate marketing ideas for your listings. Here's another one. This is from the same lady. She's doing a good job blogging here, isn't she? But notice there's a bunch of goofy stuff here on the side. If I select Evernote, clip to Evernote, there's a little item right here called simplified article. Watch what happens when I do simplified article. It actually removes all of the ads around this particular item. And now I can save this. And when we go back to Evernote, remember this was the first one that had like some additional items. When I select sync, there's the new ad or the new article. And this one, it stripped or pulled all of that advertisement out of the way. Now that is built into her website there. But if you find something on the internet that you like and you want to, so here I need to, I just clip that to my Evernote. The one thing I didn't do with this, and I don't have to because Evernote's going to pick up, it's going to read what's inside the article and organize it for me that way, is I forgot to add a tag with that. Now I'm sure, and I haven't checked into this, but if I wanted to format or insert a tag, there's probably a way. Here we go, right here. So I can add marketing, real estate marketing. I can add that tab to it right there. And now I will exit out, and that has a tag. So if I ever want to type in real estate marketing, all of my articles that I've found on the web are there. Even if I want to just type in the word marketing, here's that 107 proven ways, and here's the other one, creative real estate marketing. See how it's done that? Now watch, I can even type in, and we'll see how quickly it categorizes that. If I type in creative, may not see, it already found that. Notice how it's finding creative inside the article. And that's the real power of Evernote. And when I saw that this week, I was like, holy cow, I'm so caught up on the structure side and trying to get everything to, I'm worried I won't be able to find where I put it. Who cares? Evernote's going to do all the back end work for us. When I asked Steve that question, I said, it's really kind of like, have you ever taken your taxes to an accountant, and can you visualize some person who just dumps it all in a shoebox and says, here, figure it out for me? That's kind of what we're doing with Evernote. It's kind of like, hey, here's all my stuff, just figure it out. So Rick said, how did you do that? And what question was that there? Oh, how did you strip the ads out? Oh, no problem, Rick. The way that works is when you go to, and I'm just going to go back out to any particular, we'll try to go to a different, here we go. Let's try this. Real estate marketing ideas from this particular company. I don't have time to look at this. And again, remember, I went back. I didn't want to go back 5 or 6 years. I just wanted to find real estate marketing ideas within the last year. So that's when I did my Google search. I narrowed it down, and I'm thinking, this is a great article. I'd like to read it later. I don't have time. So now I'm going to go up here, Rick, to my Evernote web clipper, which is right up here in the top. I'm going to select Clip to Evernote. I'm going to give this the tag Real Estate Marketing. But right here, Rick, it defaults to article. But look what happens, Rick, when you select Simplified Article. It strips all of the ads out of the way. And now you have the article, and if you want to highlight, I can highlight particular pieces in that article. And now I will save that article. So I've been able to save that. And when I go back to Evernote and I sync, now this will sync automatically, but that it pulls that article over, and notice it's actually stripped all of those ads out of there so that I'm able to just concentrate on the article. I just thought that was amazing when I saw that today, and it was like, wow, that is really helpful. That's, in all honesty, that is how I've been using Evernote most of my, I've been using it since 2011. That's how I've mainly used Evernote, is I find stuff on the web and it's like, you know what, that might be something good I want to do a sales meeting on, or I maybe want to incorporate that in a talk or use that for some research and a presentation. And so I save it, and then occasionally I go back there and try to find that information. Now, so we've just shared that information. That's the web clipper. And you definitely want to download that and install that to your web browser so that when you are out finding and looking for information, if I wanted to type in, let's just say, I'm going to do an article or I want to find something on customer service, and I want to do a sales meeting on customer service, and I say, oh, here's the 10 commandments of customer service. Actually, what I normally try to do is go to search tools and I try to narrow it down within the last month. And so here's an article from April 3rd, How to Build a Culture of Customer Service from Forbes. And I'm going to continue on into the site here. And so here's the article. I'm going to select Evernote. And remember, I can either do the entire article or I can do the simplified article. I guess they have the idea to do a full page as well, but I'm going to do the simplified article. And here I'll add a tag and I'll call it customer service. I think it's good to add tags, but you don't have to. Because look at this word right here, culture. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And I'm going to go to Evernote. So we've saved that. I'm going to go into Evernote. And if I do a sync, it's going to show up. There it is right there. Now I'm going to just type in the word culture, culture. And here's that article I just clipped. And there are two other things that I've put into Evernote, and it's searching culture throughout that entire PDF document. So that was a real eye opener for me. That's how you need to think about Evernote. It's a room that you can just toss any and every paper into, and it will figure out where it's at for you when you need it. So that's number one. That's pretty cool. The second thing we can do with this, and I'm going to actually bring up my iPhone. We'll hope that this, and I'll say remind me later. I'm going to try to fire up my iPhone for you here. So let's see. And I'm going to do AirPlay, John's MacBook, and mirroring. So let's see if we see my phone, and you should. I'm going to go into Evernote now. And notice it's syncing right here. So it's pulling in notes. And I can actually, we'll let it sync here for just a second. And I'm going to go over here to search. And notice I typed in culture. It's not showing up on my screen yet, but notice there's the article we just pulled today. And this is the article because it shows we just did this at 3:27 p.m. So I'm opening this article right now, and here's the article. Now notice right up here where I have my mouse, I can actually share this with someone. And so I can type in their email. I'll put in myself, and I will hit return and hit send. And now I've shared that with my email address. So that's kind of a cool feature. You can share articles very easily. I'm going to go into my notes here and select options, and we're going to sort these by date created. So here's those articles that I just put into Evernote. And this is really handy because if you're out in the field, you have your smartphone, somebody says, maybe you're a broker manager on the call and you have one of your agents that said, I'm trying to look for some new ways that I can do some creative marketing. You could say, I've got an article I ran across the other day, 107 proven ideas. Let me send you an email of that. And boom, all in just a matter of no time, you've been able to share information on that particular property. So Evernote works. Okay, I hope I'm back and still communicating. That was very odd, so sorry about that. Or hopefully, can you hear me okay? If I'm still there, perhaps you could wave your hand at me and I'll know that I'm broadcasting loud and clear. Okay, thanks, John. And hopefully you can see my Evernote screen. My phone, I was running my phone through what's called AirPlay, and because the phone call came in, it just like I had this weird thing on my screen, so I don't know what you could see or not. I couldn't see where I was. So, all right. So anyway, I wanted to show you. Turn the airplane mode off there, or turn my airplane mode off. So I wanted to show you a couple of other quick things before I was so rudely interrupted by that phone call. It's probably somebody wanting to buy a very expensive home. So, all right. So I'm going to go back to. I was going to try to see if we can go back into the AirPlay, but it may not allow us to do that. And that's okay. Those are two things that I thought were very interesting. The other really cool thing is I'm going to go back out here to Google. If there was, let's just actually go to narrpr.com again. And let's go back to that particular property. And let's say that you want to take a picture of this particular house. So I'm going to go back to my Evernote. This time I'm going to do what's called a screenshot. See that? And now Evernote actually comes in and it's almost like Snagit. In fact, so if I want to add arrows, I can do that. If I want to say, make specific details that we put new hardwood floors in the house, I can do any of that. Now I'm going to just exit out of that. One way you might use this is kind of interesting. And I just thought of this one. Steve was doing this week. Here's the Farmington market. So I'm going to go up to Evernote, my web clipper, and this time I'm going to take a screenshot. And I am going to actually, and I haven't played around with a lot of these here, but here's an annotation here. If I want to put, I guess if you want to do a grid, you could do that. If I wanted to highlight, and I'm going to change the color to yellow. So if I wanted to highlight what's kind of happened here, I can highlight that. I can also, I don't know what some of these are. So if I want to put a check mark, that highlighted it. That's actually, I guess that was a marker. So that probably we wouldn't want to do. But notice how I'm able to draw in some of those things. And again, I would encourage you to kind of play around with some of this stuff. So I'm doing a selection or a screenshot, and I'm going to, I hit the wrong, there we go. I hit the wrong browser, so here we go. I'm going to do a screenshot of this area right here. And Evernote will now allow me, so I want to change this color to red, and I want to draw an arrow just to kind of point this out. And now I also want to do a check mark, and that's an X, a red X, but I want to just draw attention. Now this is, I guess, where we can draw with an annotation if we wanted to, but I can take this screenshot and then I can save it, and that will save that right in my Evernote. Now I believe that you can also do a screenshot of this. And here, I'm going to change the arrow to a red again. And you can make that as big as you want. And I don't know, but I'm going to just select options because I thought there was a way that you could save this socially to your network. But I don't see that ability right there to be able to save it. We'll have to look around at some of those. But when I save that in my Evernote, I can still take that and I could email it to myself or pull it out of Evernote and then put that on my Facebook webpage or do something from that respect as well. So share it on Twitter or something like that if you want to share some of the recent statistics. So I wanted to show you through the web clipper the ability to do a screen share, or I'm going to try to get back here to, I'll hit cancel. You can do the simplified article. You can do the article, the full page, the bookmark, add tags. You can even add a remark if you want to about that, and then select save. The other really cool feature that Evernote has built into it, and Steve was showing us this today, is the ability to view in the Atlas mode. So you can see wherever you take and I got this over on the left-hand side, here's an Evernote clip that I did when I was in St. Petersburg, Russia. I have no idea but it was a Seth Godin. It was a blog post he did. So I can come back over here and I can look at when I create notes in particular areas. So if you're thinking, hey, if you're out or you're on a trip or you're showing properties to a client, you can actually go in and look at so here's an Evernote that I took. That must have been at the Realtors Convention back in 2011. Actually, I think I was speaking there in 2011, but I took a clip of something while I was in San Diego and I saved that in Evernote. And again, you find that through the Atlas. Those are just a few things. I guess what I would encourage you to do is go out, play around with Evernote, be sure and download the Clipper, and just have fun with it. I'm going to start using it a lot more now that I know how easy it is and how convenient that I can go and grab information. And actually, for this, I might just want to say RPR report and start building some tags. And if I want to add a remark, I can put April 30, 2015, and I don't have to do that because remember, Evernote's going to go out, look at all those particular pieces in the puzzle. And if I want to go out to Evernote now, sync it, I can just type in Bonne Terre and it should pull up that neighborhood report because Bonne Terre is listed in there. There's also something else that Bonne Terre is listed in that I have in Evernote that I put in March 19, 2012. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I just kind of whetted your appetite to go out and use Evernote a little bit more extensively. I was blown away when I saw some of these various features, and I'm going to go in and play around with it some more, but you can download the app for the Android or your iPhone. It will sync with your main account. You can also put it on your iPad or other tablet device, but it's really an interesting application with a lot of cool things you could do. I did have someone that asked me about doing, and I mentioned to them I would start doing a session or two on Java with John about blogging and how to set up a blog. I wasn't able to really prepare for that successfully today, but that will come up in the future. I don't know if you're on the call or not, but as always, thanks for watching. I apologize we had that goofy interruption there in the middle. I'll cut that out of the video, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it will be helpful. Somebody has their hand up. Did you want me to unmute you? Did you have a question, John? Because I can unmute you if you... Are you there, John? No, I guess you didn't have a question.
Yeah, the question I guess I have is that you said in the future, would you send out a note when you're going to do the blog posting, please?
Yes, I definitely will. Definitely will do that. So
Super, thank you.
thank you, John. Okay, and I'll mute you back now. So. All right. Well, thanks for joining today. I hope you enjoyed that. Check out Evernote. It's really an awesome application. And I was just pretend like you're throwing papers in a room, and Evernote will go find those for you. So have a great day. I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks and appreciate all of your kind words and comments. Thank you.